in their life. 3:35 a.m. June 5th, 2086. Door. D003. Mr. Carlos Flats. Amazing design. I love the magenta out. I think that's magenta, right? Outlining. Oh boy, like, it's depressing as hell in here. They need to liven this place up. I love how confident she just strides, and she looks tired as shit too. But she's just so confident she's gonna succeed. Huh? Carlos Flats, right? Oh, she took her jacket off. Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take long at all. This shouldn't take all night. What are you? Look, I already told you people I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here. Kept reading the whole ride over. They said they were gonna help me. They knew this was all a mistake. Then they said I killed, acting like they were on my side and they thought that I could've. It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine, and I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So what do you want to know? Let's start light. About him. Start simple, something mundane, grounded, and root. I'd like to know a bit more about you. You first, Carlos. Something like what line of work are you in? I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought, the police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackout using the data he stole from work. My arm. I got it slotted for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work and that arm must be in custody at the moment, but based on his shoulder, it have to be pretty utilitarian for sure, not lifelike. Utilitarian. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as the type who'd enamor with the aesthetics, that's aesthetics, of modding. The young and the restless, and the rich swapping in neon and chrome limbs cause they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out. A whole career path of promotions and bonuses and upgraded. They'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday. Present test results, public information him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad that he didn't have to choose. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I started it all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye, test the water. Never thought about lopping my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, their financial aid and resources, of course, that got shit canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed, couldn't even let me keep the tax credit. The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed, but I doubt he appreciated the distinction at the moment. Our tighter spaces, the high vault environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typically stuff for modders, you know. He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. With the right word of choice here, or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy. You must be strong, good with heights. Ooh, under a lot of pressure. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are quartered off. Damn straight. And this crap with Long. Once word got that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that Internal Affairs is gonna come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah. Sorry, I read her. No room for engineering. Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues started last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejections. Did the therapy not take? Oh, I gotta read it. Oh, modification therapy. Dude. The process of adjusting the human mind and body from unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications. Typically including physical therapy, mental techniques, instructions, and sensitivity training. Depending on the individual's viability or lack thereof, medications and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. But improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloy have greatly reduced the percentage of patients that require such treatments. Damn, so he's just unlucky. Really unlucky. It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out my sockets or anything. Then does the rejection issue have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving. Never thought I'd go on so long I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said, an easy fix. But the problems got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down and made an appointment and turned in my arm and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it? Where did you turn it to? Turn it in. Some mass turnaround chop shop with waiting lists like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like your happy customer. Hell no. I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump of a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I get to work, two working arms again. Couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself, just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state, and they got exclusivity contracts with Hindi all locked up in white knuckle tight. Hindi? Halo Industries. Halo Industries is the world leader in the research, development, manufacturing, and fitting of cybernetic prosthetics for customers and commercial and private use. And we're hiring. We seek motivation and passionate archivists, programmers, salespeople, and college graduates with degrees in digital archaeology, cybernetic anatomy, and more. Not interested in sponsored search results? See further with a premium account. Boop. As I recall, he's registered with one of their Havalis models. If I took one step aside with one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines, I'd lose the down payment and my arm. And I'd never work in the city again. If this was the last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that longs in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that kill you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. We got a lot. Phantom, of course. Pain or discomfort that brain experiences at coming from an amputated part of the body, which stimuli stopped coming from a part of the body that is no longer there. The area of the nerve system that were previously devoted to processing these sensations reconfigure themselves to still be of use. Occasionally, the brain mistakes this new sensory processing as still being associated with the pain or sensation from the amputated limb. Because of the large mental element at play, therapy for phantom pain reduction necessarily involving psychological conditioning and often the use of prosthetics. Phantom pain has become more widely experienced and understood as results of the spread of the body modification movement. Debate over whether the modern scene has increased or decreased public empathy for amputees and this disabled remains contentious. Did you mean phantom visions? Phantom visions are caused by faulty installations of cybernetic eye mods, resulting in periodic electronic discharges across the retina, scheduled as constellation immediately if you suspect this applies to you. Users also frequently have searched, my mod hurts, modder's itching, I feel like this is going to come back when it comes to Reyes. I also got a card and his profile, I assume. Flats prosthetic. Most impressive grip strength. Submitted 5 weeks ago. Damn, he has that motherfucker for 5 weeks? Wait. Flat. July 8th? Yeah, we already got all that. So engineer likes airport. He likes the airport? Who likes the airport? Worn shoes and okay, firm beds is understandable. Dislikes cabs. You don't like the cab service? Musicals. What's wrong with a good musical? How dare you not like cashews? Cashews are amazing. Poppies are one of the better flowers, though. Student debt sizable, luck poor. I see that. Fucking student debt sizable. That's why I didn't go to college. The faint, right? Anything. Arm-shaped, attached to me. Didn't they give you something to? Well, where in the meantime? Something that clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a dead weight, 3-jointed landfill baked piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits, it's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again, but the fingers don't even bend. And the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So, were you wearing it when you were arrested? You wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... Flats rental. Currently in police custody. Could not bend its fingers, which automatically makes it unable to shoot a gun. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. His blood on his left arm only because at the time in question he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story as far as he'd opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Oh boy. Carlos. You and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diana, she was in genetics, focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out the gate, practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company would be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real-ass job, paid real-ass money, too. So her career was starting to pan out. Reddy's years had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree. No. Purgy Laboratories. Purgy Laboratories. Laboratories. I'd say that I'd like the name matters. The whole setup under Harco's umbrella. It doesn't narrow it down. Harv's Corporation grows a third of its soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no coordination earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big businesses can get. Pretty sure like the reason no one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah. They loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments, disputes, corporate politics, getting rough. I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It's a long shot hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their arguments entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? Now I'd like you to try to tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Uh-oh. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are very important. Alright, Miss, Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We've been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I hadn't been working. Haven't been making money. Haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8, yeah. Must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really shouldn't have. I crossed the line and we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah. Walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the Diana was... Did you bring her phone with you or any other electronics? No. I kinda stormed off, didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. The optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Or did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, I'm not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted to quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in reality, in it, really. Sorry if I don't have a lot of the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cams probably... What? What is it? Of course, I explained to him what happened. Optics was what? Can that even happen? And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diana was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This can't. Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't. Carlos. I'm the one person you don't have to try to convince. Huh? After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and I see what we've got to work with. Right. Now you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud. And it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. But at some point I must have started running because when I got back, I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest. My lungs wouldn't... You lived on the first floor, right? Yeah. First floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway, I saw her, but I didn't realize I never thought that she was... The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed, or she had fallen, or there was a broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name. She didn't move. I checked her pulse. She was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun. It looked so heavy. But I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Picked it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies, bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be really hard to know what to talk about. Or what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. Yeah. If your client notices that you do not know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. Yep. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because of your prints. It's registered to you. You were found with it. Of your prints, my dude. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on the gun. What? But I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos. All I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun, but not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun... So stupid. I know what a gun looks like, but seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast. It seemed like the rest of the night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diana, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight. What physical? We never fought. Never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Soon Carlos told me what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right. It's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see. Take your time. Okay. Alright, I think I got it. It's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. Am I gonna go in and like reconstruct it and stuff? I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But well, the mirror was upright, of course. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point. And the bed also tossed. The cushions torn. And the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so. Huh? What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos? You need to trust your instincts. If anything seems off, you don't be afraid to speak up. It's just, I guess I assumed your notes would make it edit to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. She drew it. I didn't even notice. She drew like a kindergartner. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering... I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. That was great. That's amazing. I love that. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean, this letter here. Do you recognize it? Oh, big yawn. This is the longest I've ever streamed. Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is... It's just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. So this morning, I tried to write things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos... You say in the note that you hurt them? That's... I broke her fidget tubbies. Fidget tubby? Is that like a keychain? What? Her what? A fidget tubby? They're adorable. I want one. Oh, the music. They're these collectible ceramic characters. Ceramic? That's a terrible idea. Things. They're supposed to be like tactile. You can use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters? She loved these little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging half the time. Got so angry, I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room, and the cheap dust's worthless. Dusty worthless. Okay, let's say he did break her fidget duckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the notes for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police instants are claiming the confession of the heartbreak killings anyway, couldn't even bother to sweep them up. I felt so... Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. Now I'm going to call the police back in here, and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Okay. Although, before I do, I'd have to ask, what do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there, he shoots people through the heart, right? Police kept the victim's appearance far away from any upstanding news source. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, he's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. Have to squash that theory as quick and definitely as possible.